I'm going to teach you today how interest can affect a debt collection case. Now, when you end up in court, if there's an interest rate attached to that debt, the interest is going to continue to accrue throughout the entire court case. The interest rate, you need to figure out what that is by looking at the original contract. If there's an original agreement, like a credit card agreement or a contract, you're going to look at that and see what is the interest rate that is in that agreement. Now, maybe it's not there, or maybe it's an oral agreement, or maybe it just wasn't a very good contract. It doesn't say anything about interest. There still might be an interest rate applied to that. And in court, that's what we call a prejudgment interest rate. So this is really going to depend on your state's laws. You'll need to research this. But what happens is you go through court case, you get a judgment against you, and in the end, the court's going to look back and say, okay, well, you owed this money way back when, so we're going to apply an interest rate that's set by the legislature probably, and we're going to say that, okay, there's interest for all this time from when the debt was originally incurred all the way up until the date of judgment. There also in your state might be what's called a post-judgment interest rate, which means that the longer you don't pay this judgment now, interest will continue to accrue at this rate. Again, that can be set by contract or it might be set by your state laws. You need to research and figure that out. Once you've figured out what the interest rate is, you can figure out what's the impact of that going to be on the case. If this is a really high interest rate that's going to, really ramp up, for example, a credit card interest rate that's like 20%, that's going to accrue really quickly, which means that if you decide I'm going to fight this credit card company on the debt and it's going to take 6, 10, 12 months to go through court and I lose, you've now got 12 months of interest that's just been accruing during the whole time you've been fighting that case. So it's something that you need to take into account when you're deciding, do I fight the debt collector or do I try and reach a settlement with them early? If you wait right up until you get to trial to settle that case and that interest is accrued, they're going to say, hey, you're going to have to pay more now because interest has been accruing, as opposed to if you try and settle that case at the outset of the case before a lot of that interest is accrued, you might be able to get a better deal. Again, that's something that you just have to kind of evaluate for yourself. How strong of a defense do I think I have in the case such that I don't think there's a lot of risk on there being more interest accruing as the case goes on. Now, if you need more help with your debt collection case, head to debtbrief.com. We've got forms. I do one-on-one coaching. We've got a lot more resources there on our blog, here on our YouTube channel. So click subscribe and share with your friends, anybody you know that might be having debt collection problems, and we'll see you at debtbrief.com.